everyone, my name is Allison and I'm a teen librarian at the Schaumburg Township District Library. And it's time for another episode of Lunch and Listen, where I invite you to grab your lunch and sit back and relax while I share some young adult reading recommendations. Alright, today's video is for everyone out there who enjoys watching sports or maybe just perhaps misses playing their favorite sports. There are a lot of great young adult books centered around sports, so it was rather difficult for me to narrow down which ones I wanted to talk about today. But I finally got it down to 5 books. All right, I'll be highlighting books about soccer, football, softball, basketball, and hockey. And I am going to try my best to keep it short. So let's get started. First up is Furia by Yamile Saied Méndez. Camilla, known as Furia on the soccer field, wants nothing more than the chance to play soccer professionally. But that will be no easy feat. Camilla has to prove her skills in an upcoming game and get the money she needs to play, all while keeping the secret of her playing from her parents, especially her abusive father. And she also has a budding romance with an old friend she's trying to keep as a secret as well. That is a lot of pressure for one person to have. This book takes place in Argentina, has a lot going on, so it is never slow, and it's just an all-around, well-written coming-of-age story. I do want to give you a content warning that this book does mention domestic and gender-based violence. All right, so next up is a graphic novel, Dragon Hoops by Jean Luen Yang. Dragon Hoops is the true story about how the author, Mr. Yang, came to write this graphic novel about basketball despite never really playing any sports himself. When Mr. Yang was struggling to figure out the topic of his next graphic novel, he started to hear rumblings about the basketball team, the Dragons, at the school where he taught, Bishop O'Dowd High School, and decided to write his next graphic novel about its team players, the coach, and the team's shot at winning the state championships. This book is certainly great for basketball fans, but as someone who does not really follow the sport, I love the book as well. I also really enjoyed the snippets of basketball history that was woven throughout the story. And it was just a true joy reading about the author's writing habits and the basketball team's hard work. All right, so next up is Heroine by Mindy McGinnis. Mickey is in a car crash right before the start of what is supposed to be a historic tournament run for her softball team where she is the starting catcher. As she refuses to miss this chance of a lifetime, she turns to the painkillers she was prescribed after the accident to help her get through games. But that soon turns into an addiction. While Heroin is an important read about addiction, family, friendship, and hope, it is also a tough one. Therefore, I also want to give you a content warning for this book to help you decide whether you would like to read it. Heroin does contain depictions of drug use and overdose. All right, so next up is a cheerful graphic novel about hockey, Check Please by Ngozi Ukazu. Check Please is about Eric Biddle, aka Biddy, and how he navigates his freshman year of college as a former figure skater turned hockey player and his struggle with the intensity of college hockey. But he also loves to bake pies for his fellow teammates, run his vlog, and crush on his team captain, the always serious hockey player named Jack. Check Please was really a blast to read, and I can't recommend this book enough to older teens wanting to read about college experiences. It's adorable and funny and has great full color illustrations. All right, so this last title I'm going to talk about today is actually a middle grade book, but I think teens and adults will also appreciate reading it. It's Before the Ever After by Jacqueline Woodson. Before the Ever After is written in verse and tells the story of how 12-year-old ZJ interacts with his beloved father before and after he starts having memory loss and headaches due to the concussions he received while playing in the NFL. This is a quick read at only 176 pages, and it's incredibly moving. All right, that's it for today's video of sports-centered young adult books. As always, the list of the books I discussed today, along with links to past lunch and listen videos, are in the description below. I do have a quick update to share before I log off. This Lunch and Listen series will be turning into a monthly video released on the second Tuesday of every month instead of every other week. So I hope you tune in again on Tuesday, February 9th for some young adult romance recommendations. Thank you all again so much for watching. I hope you had a nice afternoon, and please stay safe. Happy reading!